Every single day your dog waits. They wait for the sun to rise. They wait for the sound of your food bag opening, and they wait for the jingle of the leash. But deeper than those basic needs, most dogs are waiting for small, specific moments of connection that the vast majority of owners completely miss. We fill their bowls and we throw the ball assuming that is enough. But is it a shift in behavioral science suggests we are overlooking the invisible needs that actually shape their happiness and longevity? Today, we aren't just looking at the basics. We are diving into 20 specific life-changing habits. Let's start with number 20, a ritual so simple it changes their brain chemistry in mere seconds. Number 20, the 10-second eye contact ritual. We talk to our dogs constantly. We give them commands, we praise them, we use that high-pitched baby voice that we would be embarrassed for anyone else to hear. But military researchers noticed something profound. They found that specific handlers had dogs with cortisol levels, that's the stress hormone, that were 40% lower during active deployment. These handlers weren't using special treats or expensive gear. They were doing one simple thing, silent eye contact. But here's the trick, it has to be soft. In the animal kingdom, a hard stare is a threat. It says back off. But a soft blinking gaze activates the amygdala in a completely different way. When you stop what you are doing, say nothing, and just softly look into your dog's eyes. For 10 to 15 seconds, their brain floods with oxytocin. This is the love hormone. It is the same chemical released when a mother looks at her newborn baby. It creates a feedback loop of safety. Try it today. No words, no touching. Just see them and let them see you. Number 19, the forgotten zones. Most of us have a petting routine. We scratch behind the ears, we rub the belly, we pat the head. It's automatic. But canine massage therapists see a troubling pattern in almost every dog they treat. There are specific areas on your dog's body carrying chronic knots of tension that nobody ever touches. The first is between the toes. When a dog is anxious, they instinctively spread their toes for better grip, which creates micro-tears in the connective tissue over time. Spending just 30 seconds gently massaging the webbing between their toes does something remarkable. The sensation travels through nerve pathways that directly influence their nervous system. But the real gold mine, it sits right where their front legs connect to their chest. Dogs physically cannot scratch this spot themselves. It is biologically impossible. Behavioral studies from UC Davis tracked dogs receiving daily chest massages in this specific, unreachable zone for 8 weeks. The results were shocking. The dogs didn't just seem happier. They carried themselves with more confidence in public settings. They stood taller. You have the power to relieve tension they can't reach. Number 18, the power of choice. This might be the most heartbreaking realization for a dog owner. Dogs living in human homes make approximately 0 real choices per day. Think about it. We decide when they eat. We decide where they sleep. We decide when they pee. We decide who they meet. Imagine living a life where you never ever got to drive the car. European researchers studying working dogs stumbled upon this importance accidentally. They found that imperfectly trained dogs, ones who were allowed to occasionally say no or ignore a command without punishment, actually outperformed the perfectly obedient robots in problem-solving tests. Why? Because they had agency. Their brains were active participants, not just receivers of orders. You can fix this easily. Once a day, offer a genuine choice. Hold out the leash. If they don't come immediately, put it away. Wait 5 minutes. No disappointment, no sighing. Let them choose to engage. Or hold out 2 different toys and let them sniff out which one they want to play with. When a dog realizes their opinion matters to you, new neural pathways form. They become smarter because they are allowed to think. Number 17. The brain game. Hiding in plain sight. Your dog's brain doesn't stop working just because you are busy cooking dinner or answering emails. It just idles. It goes into a sort of boring screensaver mode. But you can flip a switch that lights up more brain regions than an hour-long walk, and it takes 2 minutes. Here is the protocol. Take one piece of their regular kibble. Not a high-value treat, just their normal food. This is crucial because regular food activates the brain's seeking system differently than a high-value reward which triggers pure excitement. Hide that single piece of kibble. Put it behind a chair leg under a shoe or on a low shelf. Then tell them to find it. The Family Dog Project in Budapest studied dogs who played daily scent games like this. They found these dogs retained cognitive function nearly 3 years longer into their senior years than dogs who didn't play. Why? Because the hippocampus, the area of the brain tied to spatial memory and emotional regulation, physically grows when a dog has to navigate and sniff with purpose. You aren't just entertaining them. You are building a cognitive reserve that protects them as they age. Number 16. The matching technique. You come home from a long day, you are exhausted, and your dog is bouncing off the walls. Every instinct tells you to command them to settle, to ignore them, or to push them away. But ethologists studying feral dogs, the most genetically natural dogs on Earth, noticed we are doing it wrong. Before one dog tries to change another dog's energy, they match it first. This means when your dog is hyped up, you meet them at that level for just 20 seconds. You jump, you use a happy voice, you engage. And then you slowly downshift. You guide them toward calm. The moment of synchronizing does something powerful in the anterior cingulate cortex, the region responsible for emotional flexibility. Dogs whose humans match then reduce show 50% less reactivity to sudden environmental changes. They learn that high energy isn't bad and that they can transition from high to low safely. It validates their joy before asking for their calm. Number 15. The controlled chaos method. Dogs thrive on routine, we know this. But their wild ancestors lived in a world of constant randomness. Prey appeared at different times. Weather shifted. The pack moved. Modern pets live in such rigid schedules that their adaptability muscles have atrophied. When things change, like a move or a new baby, they fall apart. Veterinary behaviorists now recommend structured variation. Change one tiny thing about their routine every single day. Feed dinner 3 minutes early. Take a different route for just the last block of your walk. Use a ceramic bowl instead of the metal one. Keep 95% of their life consistent to make them feel safe, but use that 5% variation to prevent rigidity. MRI studies show this activates the same brain regions as environmental enrichment in zoo animals. You are inoculating them against stress. Number 14. The purpose problem. Search and rescue dogs often show lower baseline cortisol than pampered house pets, even though their work is stressful. Why? Because they have a job. They are necessary. A working dog knows that if they don't do their part, the pack fails. Your dog doesn't need to save lives, but they desperately need to feel essential to the household operations. Give them a job. It can be silly. One border collie was taught to carry the mail from the door to the kitchen table every day. Another was taught to check every bedroom before the family went to sleep. Brain scans reveal increased gray matter in regions associated with satisfaction and self-concept when dogs complete a task. But here is the catch: you cannot fake it. Dogs detect fake enthusiasm through chemical signals. You have to genuinely value the job they do. When they bring you the mail, you have to be legitimately thankful. Number 13. The consent game. We assume our dogs always want our affection. We see a fluffy head, we reach out. But shelter dog research revealed a hard truth. Even affection-seeking dogs only actually want to be touched about 60% of the times we offer it. The rest of the time, they are just being polite. They tolerate it because they love us, but it builds invisible stress. Try the consent test today. Pet your dog for 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3. Then stop completely. Pull your hand away. Watch them. If they nudge you, lean in or paw at your hand within 2 seconds, they are saying, "Yes, please continue." If they just sit there, look away, or start grooming themselves, they were just being polite. When you start respecting their no, their trust in you explodes. You might find a previously distant dog becomes a Velcro dog because they finally realize that being near you doesn't mean being trapped by your hands. Number 12. The water bowl biofilm check. This is one of the most overlooked health hazards in a dog's life. Go to your dog's water bowl right now. Run your finger along the inside rim. Do you feel that slippery, slimy substance? We often think that is just dog drool. It's not. It is called biofilm. Biofilm is a protective layer produced by bacteria, including Serratia, E. coli, and Listeria, that allows them to hide and multiply. It creates a fortress that rinsing with water cannot destroy. When your dog ingests this daily, it creates a constant low-level assault on their immune system. It can contribute to periodontal disease, which is directly linked to heart valve issues in dogs. Once a day, you shouldn't just refill the bowl. You need to scrub it with hot soapy water and a sponge to physically break that biofilm barrier. It is a 2-minute act that protects their heart. Number 11. The decompression. Stop the sniffari. We tend to walk our dogs for exercise. We want to get from point A to point B to tire them out. But for a dog, a walk is not about cardio. It is about reading the news. They see the world through their nose. The olfactory bulb in a dog's brain is 40 times larger than ours relative to brain size. Every day, pick one spot on your walk, a fire hydrant, a tree trunk, a patch of grass, and just stop. Let them sniff. Do not pull the leash. Do not say, "Come on." If they want to sniff that one blade of grass for 3 minutes, let them. This is called a decompression stop. Sniffing lowers their pulse rate. It is mentally exhausting in the best way. 10 minutes of intense sniffing is equivalent to an hour of running in terms of enrichment. Give them the time to read the morning paper. Number 10. The dental inspection. Pain in a dog's mouth is the silent killer of happiness. Dogs rarely cry out when their teeth hurt. They still eat, they still play, but they suffer. By the age of 3, 80% of dogs have some form of dental disease. The bacteria from the gums enter the bloodstream and can damage the kidneys and liver. Every day, lift their lip. You aren't being a vet. You are just establishing a baseline. Look at the color of the gums. Smell their breath. If you do this daily, you will notice the moment something changes. You will catch a broken tooth or an inflamed gum line months before it becomes an emergency. Plus, getting them used to having their mouth handled makes the vet's life much easier. Number 9. The solar reset. We spend so much time indoors under artificial lights. Dogs have a circadian rhythm just like us, regulated by the hypothalamus. This controls their sleep-wake cycles, their metabolism, and even their shedding. Try to get your dog outside into natural sunlight for 10 minutes first thing in the morning. The full spectrum of light entering their eyes triggers the production of serotonin, the mood stabilizer, which later converts to melatonin to help them sleep at night. If you have an anxious dog or a dog that paces at night, this morning light bath can be a game changer. It resets their internal clock. Number 8. The wait at the threshold. This is a safety habit that doubles as impulse control training. A lot of dogs bolt out the door the moment it cracks open. This is dangerous, obviously, but it also puts them in a high arousal state before the walk even begins. Make it a daily rule: the door opens, but we don't move. We wait for eye contact. We wait for a calm beat. Then we release with a command, like, "Okay." This tiny moment of self-regulation teaches the dog that they control the access to the fun by being calm. It turns a frantic exit into a thoughtful transition. Number 7. The vocabulary map. We talked about not using long sentences for commands, but for bonding. Narrate your life. Science shows that dogs have the intelligence of a human toddler. They can learn hundreds of words through passive listening. When you are cutting carrots, show them the carrot and say, carrot. When you are putting on your boots, say boots. When you get the keys, say keys. You aren't training them to do anything. You are building a verbal map of their world. A dog that understands what is happening around them is a less anxious dog. If they know the sound of keys means you are leaving, but boots means they are coming with you, you remove the anxiety of the unknown. Number 6. The physical body scan. Dogs change quickly. A lump can appear overnight. A tick can latch on during a 10-minute walk. We often pet our dogs, but we rarely inspect them. Once a day, do a deliberate body scan. Run your hands over their ribs, down their legs. Check the pads of their feet, look inside the ears. Make it a cuddle session, but keep your mind sharp. You are looking for bumps, heat swelling, or burrs in the fur. This daily inventory means you will know their body better than any doctor. You will be the one to find the problem when it is small enough to fix easily. Number 5. The recall roulette. Here is a mistake we all make. We only call our dogs when the fun is over. We call them to leave the park to come inside or to get a bath. So the word come starts to predict the end of happiness. Every day play recall roulette. Call your dog to. You give them a fantastic treat or a quick game of tug, and then this is the key: say, go play, and release them back to what they were doing. Teach them that coming to you doesn't mean the fun stops. It means the fun pauses for a reward and then continues. If you do this daily, the one time you really need them to come to save their life, they won't hesitate. Number 4. The novelty introduction. The brain craves novelty. It releases dopamine. But our dogs see the same 4 walls every day. Introduce one new object daily. It can be a cardboard box from an Amazon delivery. It can be a leaf you found outside. It can be a new scent on a cloth. Place it on the floor and just let them investigate. Don't force it. Let them sniff it, paw it, destroy it if it's safe. This daily discovery keeps their curiosity piqued. It combats the boredom that leads to destructive chewing. It tells them, the world is full of interesting things, and I bring them to you. Number 3. The music therapy hour. We leave the TV on for noise, but is it the right noise? Studies in bioacoustics show that dogs react profoundly to certain tempos. Heavy metal and pop music can actually increase agitation, but reggae and soft rock. Surprisingly, these genres have the most calming effect on the canine heart rate, second only to classical music. Once a day, specifically during their resting time, curate their sound environment. Put on a calming dog playlist or some Bob Marley. It sounds funny, but the rhythmic structure of reggae mimics a resting heart rate. It creates an auditory blanket that helps them settle into a deeper, more restorative sleep. Number 2. The toy rotation. If your dog has a basket full of 20 toys, they probably play with none of them. To a dog, a toy that has been sitting on the floor for 3 weeks is dead prey. It's boring. Do this today. Take all the toys away. Put them in a closet. Leave only 3 out. Tomorrow, swap one of those 3 for a new one from the closet. Suddenly, that old stuffed squirrel is the most exciting thing in the world again. Rotation creates scarcity, and scarcity creates value. It keeps their brain engaged without you having to buy anything new. Number 1. The chemical message. The gratitude smell. And finally, we return to the most profound discovery of all. In the quiet moment before bed, Your dog may curl up nearby, breathing softly. It feels peaceful to you. But something biological is happening. This is the perfect time to focus on the things that make your dog uniquely yours. Think about how they tilt their head or the way they greet you. As you take in those details with genuine, overwhelming gratitude, your body responds. You release a powerful mix of bonding chemicals, oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin. And here is the kicker, your dog can smell it. In 2019, researchers confirmed that dogs have specialized chemoreceptors capable of detecting subtle emotional changes in humans. When you truly feel love, not just saying "good boy," but feeling it in your chest, they sense it. Not metaphorically, literally. Brain imaging shows that when a dog picks up on these specific chemical signals from their bonded person, it activates their default mode network, the region linked to memory and self-awareness. In other words, your dog isn't just relaxing next to you. They are absorbing your emotional presence. They are downloading your love into their long-term memory. So tonight, don't just sit next to them. Feel the gratitude. Let them smell how much they matter. We have covered 20 ways to deepen the bond with your best friend. From the way you touch them to the way you look at them, every interaction is a conversation. But I am curious, which of these 20 habits are you already doing, and which one surprised you the most? And I have one request. Our dogs give us everything, but their lives are so short compared to ours. Let's honor them right now. I want you to go to the comments section and type the name of the dog you are going to try these with. Let's fill the comments with the names of the good boys and girls who deserve to be understood a little better every day. Because at the end of the day, you are their entire world. Let's make it a good one.